Hey, beautiful people. I'm Mila.
Hey y'all, I'm Monica.
And thanks for joining us. Good evening, sis. How you doing?
I'm well and I'm thriving.
That's what I like to hear to get us started. And I know that tonight is really all about vibrating on a higher level. So I'm super excited. We have another guest with us this evening.
Yay.
Yes. And that was a really great conversation. It was right on time. It was just what my spirit needed. How did you feel about everything?
I mean, as always, it's right on time. I got some confirmation, I got some affirmation. It was a what we call healing
Hmm.
conversation.
For
So,
real. Very much so. Very healing. Well, with that, we don't want to delay this wonderful spiritual healing, enlightened conversation that's about to take place. It's fun too. But I do want to just apologize in advance. Monica, I realized that you were really trying to get my attention and tell me that you heard a noise. And typically, technical difficulties come from you. But tonight, I am responsible for all of that.
mhm.
Well, girl, that's what I get for trying to be cute when we're recording. I totally had on dangly earrings, and they were, oh my gosh, it was a mess. So there's a lot going on there. So my
Sorry
apologies.
y'all.
Yeah. So my apologies to the people, but the quality is not jacked up. So let me
No.
particularly particular
I
about.
tried 50, 11 times.
I know. Sometimes you just have to say Mila. I mean, because I've said it to you, Monica, and you know what happens? We go back and edit it. But no, it's all good. I did listen. The Virgo in me. I had to listen like 1,000 times, and I was like, okay, it's not terrible, but I at least want to prepare people. It's not your listening devices that are on the blink. It's Mila's dangly earring. So I own that. Now, not all the background noises, because the guest was drinking water at one point. I mean, it was a real conversation. That's what this is all about. We were just
Right.
it was a real spiritual kickback. So with that with
But
that
I
said,
like that. It was a real spiritual kickback. That's what it was. And so the
yeah.
the content is substantial.
Hmm.
Disregard the other noises.
Yes, be still, and you'll learn what that means in a minute. So enjoy and blessings to everyone. Hey, okay, so people, we are so excited about the family that is joining us this evening. We are going to vibrate on a higher level. I am, deeply, deeply excited. This person to me is family. I call him Cousin Malcolm, Uncle Malcolm to some, and a new light, someone who is going to give you gems and pearls of wisdom and ways to grow and evolve. So without further ado, Auntie's family, let's welcome Malcolm Ian Cross to the podcast.
Yay!
Thank you, ladies. It's good to be here, Mila and
Mhm.
Monica. Thanks for having
Yes.
me. Blessings, blessings.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We
Yep,
appreciate it.
yep.
So when we originally, were reaching out to Malcolm, we said, "Hey, we want to talk about da 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 da," and he goes, he got us together real right in this nice way that you guys are going to learn to appreciate, honey, the spiritual way. He said, "Well, I find that it's." Not that it's really who I'm attracting. So you know what? We're gonna let Malcolm introduce us to him. Malcolm, will you tell us who are you, except besides, I guess, an exceptional human being on this spiritual journey? Like, what do the people need to know?
I mean, first and foremost, I would offer that I am a child of God, first and
Amen.
foremost,
Hmm.
and the son of Donald James Cross. Blessings to Donald James Cross and
Hey, Uncle Don.
Gertine Taylor
Woo,
Cross.
woo,
Woo-hoo.
yes, well, Auntie Gertie, yeah, so, okay, you
Yeah,
really, you putting them really out there, okay, so
yeah.
if you don't
Blessings.
know, now you know.
blessings to the ancestors, right?
That's
Give them the
right.
blessings that they deserve, right? So that's it. I'm studied. I'm I mean, I'm a jack of many trades, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm focused on a lot of spiritual support and
Mm-hmm.
helping people heal themselves, supporting people to heal themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
also pretty much painting some epic artwork for God's medicine for the world.
I
Yeah.
like it. And you were kind of explaining to us that it's, you know, Afrocentric cosmic art. I know I'm butchering it, so go and get it right for me, Malcolm. I mean,
The concept came through deep in a painting that it's Afro-cosmic art. It's really
see.
really influenced through a lot of the African lineage through the Orishas and great profound energetic studies that come through in that moment, and then through the cosmos, through all the different planets, Sirius, Pleiades, and all those other good cosmic forces combined together for Afro-cosmic art.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there is Afro-cosmic healing, which is my healing endeavors that I do for the world as well.
Okay, see, I like that. Now,
Mm.
Monica, Monica, I'll let you
Yes.
weigh in. I said I'll let you weigh in because see the shady part of me. See, that's why we have someone who's enlightened tonight. It's not quite petty Virgo season, but I do kind of want to but I'm going to respect Malcolm. I won't say so. For all the brothers that are out here trying to be enlightened, go ahead, take notes, write down his name. He's on all social media as Malcolm Ian Cross. You can go ahead and DM him. He will actually help get you to where you need to be. All your chakras will be in the right place, in the right alignment. Boom. That's coming from Mila. Okay, blame it on me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but no, but Monica, what do you have to say to start off the evening?
So, and we had this our pre-conversation about being in relationships
Mm-hmm.
and people telling you how they feel about you or what's off about you. And
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm, you had mentioned that it's basically a reflection. Like we come into each other's lives as a mirror. And if that's not, where we want to be or aligned with, then we need to do more internal work. And you were, breaking that down for us.
So I guess
Yes.
that's where we're gonna start then, honey. We
Yes.
Yeah.
jumping right into it, honey. We starting with the Black Mirror, right? I don't know
Yeah.
that Netflix thing. Looking at this mirror, look at it. Okay.
So what I would offer is that, there's a really big possibility of just taking full responsibility of your life. Right? And the biggest blessing one of the biggest blessings that God has given us is free will, right? For us
Mm-hmm.
to have the free will to choose what we want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, if your experience is something that is not in alignment with what you want, such as um, a man who is out of alignment, out of integrity, okay, this person has been called into your space because you are running some sort of frequency of attraction that called them in. And that person that came to you is a teacher. So, one, in a lot of ways, in the healing that could possibly be available is up your gratitude for them showing up as a teacher, but then really up your self-discipline to go within and see what it is you need to heal in your internal self to up your frequency and attract higher frequency liked people, thus making you responsible for your life and everything in it. There's no space for victimhood these days. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, you
Right.
can
Right.
say what you need to, Malcolm.
Okay, good. I've been on some other things. They're like, oh, yeah. So,
Yeah, no,
so
we'll
no,
run this. So, if
there's,
this is the one
yeah,
episode that's explicit, it's worth it. It's explicit because we're
well,
doing the deep work. We are challenging how people think, feel, how they're vibrating. Like you are coming with that healing word. Because, like I said, family, when we started off with this podcast, the thoughts, the concept, we were like, we want to know why these brothers is acting like that. Malcolm was like, no, no. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That's not where we're coming from. So I'm
that
reiterating that.
and it really just comes from my own personal study, right? Of, of,
Mm-hmm.
of being in past relationships, engaging with women that were kind of a fucking hot mess. And then I realized that there was something in me that was really calling these particular people in, these particular women in, and even people even that I'm not dating, wasn't dating, just relationships. What is going on, right? And so I had to go within to really look at some traumas that I was carrying. That these traumas started off when I was a little Malcolm, and then they carried into my my adolescent Malcolm and my pre-adult, and then they started, instead of being characteristics, they were now my character, and instead of my character, now they were me. That's how trauma goes if it's not dealt with.
Right? Will you say that again, Malcolm, please? I think that's a point that people need to get again, because I like how you broke that down, but I think there's a real word there. You said the traumas, if they're not dealt with, instead of being characteristics, they become character, right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got
and then they become you.
Yeah.
And then they become you if you don't deal with them. And then
that's like biblical.
And you see it, you see people who are all in their quote unquote adult self and high paid self and shiny this and shiny fucking that, and they're just running trauma.
Well,
and then ultimately they meet other people, and then they, what do they call it? Trauma bond, because those frequencies are bonding with other frequencies. So
she's speaking a word.
That in itself really gives you an opportunity, when you are skillful, to realize that this person is standing right in front of you with some fucking shenanigans that you do not want to engage in or want in your life, and don't serve your highest good. So then what is in you that called them into your life experience? Get to work to heal it.
Get to work.
Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming other people for shenanigans, right? Wasting your time. You got things to do. There's tons of stuff to do.
Well, we're going to be enlightened. Yeah. We're going to be enlightened thanks to Malcolm being cross. And then we're going to be petty when we need to. It's part of the healing process. You got to get that negativity out of you. So maybe you have to have one bitch and moan session and then get yourself together.
Get your ish together.
And I'm totally in alignment with that as well. Here we are, these divine beings that chose to be incarnated this lifetime in this human form, to have this human experience, right? So an aspect of the human experience is bitching and pettiness and all that shit, right? So get it in, but like a dear teacher in my life, Blessing Super Junior Apollo, would say, don't, anything in excess is self-indulgence.
Okay, so don't indulge in the petty. Don't indulge in the moaning. Just get it out. Detox. Let it out. Just
let it out,
and don't live in it. Don't wallow.
Let it out and don't live in it. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, don't let it take over your life or your week or your days or years.
Yeah, amen.
Or relationships or family members. Like what? Like, don't let it take it over. Deal with it.
No, that's a concept for people too, because sometimes people get stuck in those traumas, like you said, little Malcolms, little Milas, little Monikas, sometimes things that we don't even think about, because I think a lot of times people think, I don't have any trauma, I'm good, I had a good life, or normal ups and downs, but we don't realize that we're carrying real life baggage. Right?
Yeah. When people come to me and they say, my life is good, my family's pretty great, my parents are great, those are all the 3 signs. I'm like, holy shit, here we go. because that means, what that means is that the trauma is so deep they don't even recognize it, but yet something in them came to seek out help, and now they want me to tell them after what they're presenting is perfect, how to fix their perfection.
Do you have to fix perfection?
You can't fix perfection.
There's no thing as perfection.
So that's when I hang up, right. And I tell them to call back when something's wrong.
I like that. You said, you're not ready for the journey yet. You said, call me when you're ready.
Good for you. Yeah, hit me when something's wrong or something's up. You can be authentic and transparent. Right? You're wasting your time and your money.
Yeah. I mean, but is it hard You know, I mean, since you work with all kinds of people, is it hard
Mm,
for, you know, men? Because we are inquiring about men as well as women, but is it
yeah,
hard for sometimes for men to break down those walls because of kind of what societal constraints, especially black men? Like, is that a process? Do you see like a pattern or things that you have to overcome a lot when you're dealing with men and their trauma?
absolutely. I mean, it's a whole nother level of patience, and it's a whole nother level of me being transparent about myself
Mm,
so that they can get into a place of being comfortable enough to express vulnerability, which is not necessarily acceptable
mm,
here in society.
mm,
And that's a twofold, right? So
right.
here's the women that are talking about men being soft,
Mm,
and then there's women talking about being ballers and so hyper masculine that
mm,
they're demasculating the man anyway. So there's a
mm,
whole there's a whole energetic value that really makes it stickier for a man to really look at unpacking his traumas, which takes a little bit of vulnerability and trust. And
mm,
then, and that's just man. Okay, that's every other color. And then we get to our African men, right?
Go ahead.
Which is a whole nother level of compassion, heartfelt compassion, to really be able to open up some sort of conversation within them to get deep enough where they can really be authentic, to express their sadness, to express their fears without being judged or called soft. It's a fucking problem,
Mm.
and it's real,
Oh, I
and
believe it. Yeah, I
yeah,
believe
it's
it.
real, it's real, it's real, and it took me many years to even unpack all the trauma that was not okay to express as a
Mm.
young black boy surrounded by tons of white boys,
Mm-hmm.
affluent,
Mm-hmm.
and then living and then transitioning in different realms of living spaces, and still
Mm-hmm.
carrying these traumas, but
Yeah.
not okay to express them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I just a sidebar because you know we love sidebars around here.
Mm-hmm.
See, Malcolm mentioned how he was growing up, and I got a chance to experience that world. You know, when I was much younger, I went and I spent the summer with him because he's really my blood kin. And I remember that's how I got introduced to rap music and heavy metal. It was like Run DMC and Aerosmith. I mean, he had the convertible Jeep. Everybody was, I mean, his best friend at the time was this little hot blonde surfer boy who that's probably why I got my taste for equal opportunity. Because I'm
Yeah.
definitely an equal opportunity dater because I just knew that one day Malcolm's best friend was going to be my baby's daddy.
I
So
mean,
I,
you're pretty. You were really. I'm pretty sure he was your first love, actually.
yeah, I mean, I was smitten. I was like,
Yeah,
where'd
you
you
were
get this
smitten.
Barbie? Where did Ken come from? I mean, his name wasn't Ken, but I'm like, where's Ken? This is California Ken. Like, he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just, I felt like the sun was like listening off of him. But anyway, yes, that was definitely a sidebar. So I could imagine that there was some trauma because you're unique. And what I will say about moving in spaces with Malcolm is, um, so I don't want to just speak on the superficial because you're more than that. But he is a light. He is a magnet. Not just because he's tall and beautiful. And I'm not saying this. I mean, because I've lived the reality. Every time I go someplace with Malcolm, it's like, wow, this is what being tall and beautiful and black is like. But I don't know
It's
if
his
that
internal light. It's his internal light.
oh, girl, no, it's his girl. Yeah, his internal light is evolved. Yes, it's wonderful. But I'm talking about just the external. People don't
Right.
let Malcolm say anything. They just look at him. I've seen people like lose their mind for him, and I'm like, ooh. And but he always, even before he was where he is at on his journey, he was always a cool dude. Like he always had that inner peace, and I definitely have to believe steps are ordered because there was something that was always in him that was going to be on this quest, right? Because even how he handled conflict resolution, he was just eloquent at it. He could detect trouble was about to happen. Maybe that's from being from Cali, and he would just bypass that, sidestep that. He would tell the people, no, no, man, go on in peace. That's your woman. You take her. Go on, blessings. And he would just send that vibration away. Or the men who, no, sir, no, thank you, but go in peace. Like Malcolm was just every time someone got a chance to be around, they'd be like, where's this guy from? And I'm like, I don't know. He's a whole nother, he's a phenomenon. I don't know.
You're like,
Yeah, I'm
I don't
like, I
know
don't
where
know.
that guy's from.
He just might be, I mean, brother was even going into like our grandfather's church. I remember we were coming in late. But Malcolm,
Yeah.
I mean, he always, I mean, shoulders back, there's never no slumping. I mean, you're over, you know, you're a very tall man. So, you know, you're bold and you're in your skin, and it is wonderful. But you have also, I could see that you're right where you need to be, healing and helping people with their journeys, because you've always had that kind of like understanding, empathy for people, and it's like you get in there and you get to know. I don't know. It's just there's something about the Malcolm magic. But that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna gas his head up because he knows who he is, but I'm always impressed.
And quite honestly, and thank you, thank you, right? But one of the things I would offer too is that everything that I am, an aspect of it I came through with, you know, and through my blessed parents and all that good. But it's also valuable to study and to believe that you can evolve, right? So here's the thing about being tall and good looking. So what?
Tell us. What?
No, here's the thing. So what? There's so many tall, good-looking people. How about that, right? So how about you're a tall, good-looking person who has now studied how to be compassionate, how to be heart-centered, how to listen, how to be present, how to be compassionate with people of all colors, creeds, races, sizes, and shapes. How about your study? And then that's what the upgrade is around everything. I mean, there's tons of beautiful people out there running around that are internally a hot mess. And you know this.
Yeah, I do know that. And this is spoken like a true Cali guy right here. Yeah, like there's a bunch of beautiful people. Okay. Well, I've seen, you're right. I've seen beautiful people who are not beautiful, and you're right. That shows.
Illusions.
Yes. Okay, Monica. I said I'll let you break it down, but yeah, there's illusionists out there. Yes,
There
definitely.
are illusionists.
I love that. That's a word. So I love that. I love that this is an authentic conversation. Wait, because Monique and I, we were talking about like, you know, being comfortable, even being comfortable in the silence. So that silence wasn't going to be awkward, but it's just we're on a podcast, so we just can't. We just don't want the silence. But the silence was like, I'm really reflecting on what we were just saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'll let Monique. I know she has some thoughts as well to bring to it, because we've all, of course, been chatting before we started recording. So.
Well, I kind of want to like rewind a little bit, and you might have mentioned, you mentioned a little bit earlier, Malcolm, but what I wanted to know is, what was like the catalyst or the event that moved you into your awakening or to your spiritual journey as to where you're at now?
I would say I was actually right around. I'd been in Los Angeles for a while, and I was enduring some physical pain in my back, my mid left side. And so at that time I was probably about 240. I was pushing a lot of weight, eating a lot of calories because I thought that was important. And so
I'm like, I'm excited about this too. Okay, go on.
and blessings to, you know, that iteration of Malcolm Ian Cross, right? So, and then I had this really crazy pain in my back, and then one of my friends, who was a makeup artist at the time, mentioned that she was working with this energy worker, right? So I was available to try anything because I thought it was, you know, a pulled muscle or something from working out and whatever. So I went to this woman, and, you know, I would say blessings to my very, very, very first spiritual teacher by the name of Joanne. Blessings to Joanne. And I went to her, and she did these energetic table sessions, and she was a divine being. Super, super beautiful, powerful healer. And as I went through a few sessions, I realized that one, this work was really familiar to me, and two, it was available for me to open up and study to do myself, right? Beyond what I was doing then, I think I was still in the acting game and doing all kinds of other stuff, right? So that really is the thing that sparked it for me. And then I started taking workshops and classes and reading books and different contents, and it really just started opening up my really big healing aspect of myself, rediscovering it per se. Because, you know, as you beautiful ladies know, we come in with these gifts, And it's up to us to remember that we have them and then ultimately nourish them so they can be expressed to the world. And so mine was still dormant. And then meanwhile, that back pain was also an anger knot that was something that was related to my mother, because it was on my left side. Right, your left side is your divine feminine side. Your right is the masculine. The left is to give. The left is to receive, and the right is to give. Right, and so as you learn all these little nuances of self and healing, I just realized, man, this is for me to do for people. And plus, as Mila would just say, that I literally, anybody comes to me is like coming for counsel or comfort. So,
Yeah.
so I was like, I need to get some fucking tools.
Yeah. I mean, I know
right?
everybody wants to come and like drop a heavy load on you, but like you said, you made sure that you started to have the tools. That was a bomb question, Monica. I'm like, yeah, honey, to explain for the people, show other people, be it whoever, how they can also do the work. I liked how you said the feminine energy is the left and the masculine is the right, and kind of knowing where your pain trigger is. So if I have if I get knots and like I've had to go to the chiropractor, and like when I get adjusted, it's usually like on my right side. That's some masculine trauma right there. Do you think it's
You mean
Mr.
ultimately?
Cross?
Thank you. What I would say is, like, there are physical things that happen, right? But ultimately, ultimately, probably 98% of the time, anything that's physical in your body has a root cause, and that root cause is normally a trauma, right? And so as we pick up these traumas and we don't acknowledge them, and they keep on trying to get our attention. Oh, you got a little soreness. Oh, my back is just a little sore. Okay, then it's a little stiff. I'm gonna try this little half-ass stretch, right? And then okay, now my arm is kind of feeling tingly, almost like it's numb. Shit, I should probably go to a doctor, some other external thing outside of ourselves again, right? I'll go to a doctor who don't know shit about you anyways. And then he's going to tell you, oh, it's this thing, and here's the pill for it, right? And this pill is going to numb it out. That's all it does.
Yeah.
And
Temporary
then your
relief.
body, and then your trauma is going to keep on activated by the pill because it's not getting acknowledged for healing. And the next thing you know, you are in the state of dis-ease. And then that's how you call in the C words and all the other stuff, right? So ultimately, sometimes you just gotta, go within and get quiet. Things come up, or you have a repetitive issue. Oh, I've got chronic back pain. No, you've got some fucking issues to work out with this person, or you've got financial issues. And whatever the financial issues are, then what's the root cause of why you have financial issues? Oh, you have abandonment issues, or lack of support. Oh, that makes sense.
Where's where's the financial pain? And not me. I'm just curious. Like, what part of the body is where the finances are triggered? I'm just curious, Malcolm.
Lower back.
Oh, lower back. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Lower
right,
back is usually
okay.
I said, okay. So now, people, if you are interested, you can say, wait. I want Malcolm to tell me what my trauma is. I told you how to find him. He said he's not hiding. Like when we asked him, I said, okay, so Malcolm, what's your social media? He said Malcolm Ian Cross. I said, oh, the full government name, Malcolm Ian Cross, spelled like it sounds, not any special modern way. It's spelled the classic way. That's what I tell people now about names that are spelled. I'm like, it's spelled the classic way. Yeah. So you can reach out to him and find out about what you need to know. Like if your fingers hurt, you go ahead and ask him. Say, Malcolm, why is my slapping people hand hurt, Malcolm? Tell me about it. And he'll give you.
And there's plenty of great content out there as well. I mean, myself, I'm a really great resource, and there's other great content. There's like awesome books that like literally I refer to all the time with my clients, such as Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life.
Oh, I have that book. I need to get her replaced.
That book is epic, right? Like something comes up, you look at it, it gives you that thought form, that thought pattern, and then it gives you where it might, the root cause, and then it gives you another affirmation to really help rectify it. Simple things that you can incorporate in your moment to moment basis that are going to release but shenanigans, right? And you know, it's interesting, Monique, you said that, like, oh, I have that book. A lot of people say, I have that book. And I often reply, you know, I often share, I'm like, read it. Do you,
Yes.
you use it? So
I need to.
have you read it? And people are like, oh, no, oh, man, I should pull that down. I'm like, exactly.
Right.
Read the book. Yeah.
I need to reread it. I actually sent it to my cousin, and I need to replace my book. So yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
I have an old one, and I loaned it out once, and it kind of was starting to get missing. And I was like, no, so I got it back, and now all I do is send pictures. I'll never let it go again.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, I just
No,
send
I
pictures.
said don't stop your testimony, Monica. Monica is good for giving somebody a book now. Over the years, I have many interesting books because Monica has blessed me, gifted them to me, and so no, don't stop your testimony, but just your good ones though. Just take pictures.
Yeah. The workbooks, the ones that you're really going to refer to a lot after you're still learning from, you know, because I you know, I've used this book for many years, and I still find new nuances that are enlightening to me in it. So there's that. And blessing to you, Monica, for reading. Jeez, good for you.
We're grown, so I don't even.
Right.
Malcolm, so you do have some shady in you. Blessings for reading. Well, honey, we reading and writing around here. We know we're from the Northwest, okay? We have a good school system. All right, that's what I'll say.
Blessings to the Northwest.
yes, for sure. You know, yes. Blessings to the Northwest.
I did want to ask you one last question as far as when it comes to this combo question, but being able to sit still, just what is your go-to for that? And then boundaries. I am working on, I love my friends and family, but I'm an empath and it drains my energy and it literally makes me sick. So I've had to like really create some boundaries, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude, but y'all gotta, you know.
I know she's telling the truth because I thought she had blocked my call today. I was like, oh Lord, am I draining her? But no, I didn't. But I got through.
So okay, well, your first question was, what was it again? I'm sorry. I was thinking
Your recommendation, or what is the first thing you do to help you like just sit still?
Oh yeah, stillness. There we go.
Yeah.
So thank you for the inquiry, Monica. These are really highly both valuable things, right? Stillness, right? The big study for me in stillness is really, you know, everybody talks about meditation and how, you know, it's the way, and it actually is the way, but it's challenging, right? And so what happens is what happened for me is that I needed to really discipline myself and start building my muscle of being still, and also releasing. And, you know, how about this too? I offer that you forgive yourself immediately for not being able to be still, because within that unforgiveness causes this anxiety and this belief system that you cannot be still, which is not accurate.
Right.
So get in there and you apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for thinking that I couldn't be still. Thank you for forgiving me. I love you. And you run that prayer, Ho'oponopono. You run that prayer until it really lands. And even running the prayer, you're going to be still. You're going to have these brand new sensations. So one of the studies, deep studies that I just even taught my dear brother this last weekend is that stillness is where God is, right? Stillness in ourselves is where God is. This is your intuition. This is all of the answers that are all here available internally, not externally. And so just be gentle with yourselves while you are disciplining yourselves to be still and increasing your availability. It's another two-part answer, right? To be available to receive higher conscious information, right? It's a system. But it really starts with you building your muscle, right? So you're sitting still.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. Be comfortable, whatever. You don't have to sit cross-legged. Who needs that, right? You just need to be still. And
So
then
you
you're
can
like,
do it
okay,
anywhere. I mean, so
oh
that was
my
the
gosh,
question, Malcolm. I wanted to piggyback on
absolutely.
that. Like, do you have to set the scene? Do we need to light candles, quiet the room out, black it out? Like,
No, because ultimately what happens with all that is, I mean, it's beautiful to set up that space if you're making it more, how can you say, ritualistic,
mm.
right? That's awesome. But sometimes you really need to get some stillness when you're out at Starbucks. No, I'm real.
Say it, and
Right.
that was an amen. I mean,
That's real.
it
Yeah, that's
might have
real
been,
shit because
yeah.
it's chaotic in the world. You ain't got time for fucking candles all the time or sage and shakers and maracas. Like
Yeah.
that's real stuff, right? So, you know, when it's chaotic, like you mentioned some times when we were together and shit's happening, you just saw
Mm-hmm.
my calm. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's because I can now take a still moment within myself because you really start to build that muscle so you can call it in when you need it in the moment,
Mm. Okay. I said,
right?
I like that. Okay, so you
That was a
said practice it. Sorry,
right.
Monica.
I'm sorry. No, that's okay. That was an aha moment when you said forgive yourself for not being able to be still. Like,
Absolutely.
Because
Here's
we
the
get in
thing,
our minds, right? We're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm not doing
Here's the
it.
th-
I'm thinking about 10 things. I still can't be still. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and one of the things that happened for me is, you know, and this is all kinds of different stuff, right? So many years ago, I got into this internal conversation and deep within the force, and I realized that I I didn't trust myself. What the fuck?
mm,
I was like, oh shit, no wonder why shit's not working out.
right.
So I had to get in there, I had to learn myself. Okay, oh, start forgiving myself for not trusting myself. Start forgiving myself for not keeping keeping my word to things I was going to do. Forgive myself for not working out or not reading that book or just forget. Don't carry this unforgiveness in your internal self while it's in there causing havoc, and you're sitting there looking at other people, wanting them to provide calm and peace for your life,
Mm.
Okay. Look. Okay.
Mess it,
Yes.
right?
girl. That's a
Yes.
word.
So you get in there and you clean it up. You clean shit up with
Okay.
yourself first and foremost, and then you clean up with your family and you clean up with your relations. And you
Right.
systematically, once you start doing it with yourself first and foremost, it'll instantly show up in your field. This is the field in what you're calling in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get in there and you say, you know, I'm sorry, Monica, right? Please
Right.
forgive me for blah 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 blah. Then you give it a second, take a breath. Thank you. That brings in the gratitude. I love you. Oof, powerful. And then
Right.
you repeat it until it lands.
Mm. That
And
might be
then
your
you,
mantra. So that's your still mantra, right? I forgive
it's,
me. I love you.
right. So then you keep on running until then even in that moment of running that prayer, you're already still. Trust in that. Right. And then that's the power of it. And then you build your muscle of stillness. You're sitting there and, you know, like, and you got to practice outside of the house, outside of the comfort zone. You got to
Mm-hmm.
practice on train, right?
Airport.
In
Mm-hmm.
the airport, you got to just
Amen.
practice. Sit there and be
Mm-hmm.
still. And you know, when you want to open your eyes or whatever, or you know, you want to reach for the water because now you're dying of thirst. Don't reach for the water. There's no reason you need water right now. You're just in avoidance. Just be
Mm.
still. Be still. Run that in your head. I was with a client this a couple of weekends ago, and I ran "Be Still" for 1 hour. 1 hour, and this is a person who had a deep Kundalini meditation practice for a year.
Oh wow.
Had no inclination of how unsettled he was in his internal self.
Mm.
So we sat there. Be still. Okay. Oh, I need some water. You know, be still.
I know you
Be
love
still.
telling me you don't need no water.
Be still. No, and I didn't say you don't need water because
Mm-hmm.
what happens is then he gets caught up in me denying him water, and
Water,
it
right?
turns into a
Okay.
big thing. So you just simplify it. Be still.
Mm.
Be still. Every time he's moving, be still. And then finally, in an hour, it landed. Boom, and you saw it come in on his face, and he just smiled. And then now he's, you know, we talk on the phone or on our expansion ally sessions, and he's like, "Man, this is a godsend. I didn't even know. the power in the stillness.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's where God is. It's powerful.
Mm.
We're so busy in the world being busy.
Mm.
It's ridiculous, and it's intentional. So,
But it's funny, you know what, Malcolm? Because I feel like even with the pandemic, they think that they've learned to be still or
mhm.
to, focus on the internal. But you're saying no, 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 because everyone got free and they started acting a fool out here in the streets. So you know that people really were doing the work. It was like surface work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Anybody who's being still in the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
doesn't give two shits about the pandemic being over. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because they were, yep.
Because they're still living their calm life,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not out in the bar now in the club with all this anxious energy that they've
Mm.
been pent up and trying to express it now.
Mm.
Catch up for get back to an old way that'll never ever happen again because change is constant.
Inevitable. Yep.
Oh, honey, I love that. Okay, so then I have to remind you of Monica. Her second part of their question was boundaries, right? She's an empath.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she needs to set boundaries. I have to set boundaries because I do realize that you can get exhausted. You can get exhausted giving to people.
Yeah,
So
that
if
is
you got that
actually.
stillness work done,
Well,
Yeah, but
maybe. So did I answer your question, then, girl?
yeah.
well, and also too, I would offer Monica that, as an empath, and blessings to you because that is something that is a absolute superpower, right?
Right.
And on the other side of that, it can be fully accessible by other people and taken advantage of, especially if you don't have tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries are a good tool, right? If you can actually implement boundaries and keep them, great, right?
I like the way you said actually implement them and keep them.
Keep them.
So
Oh yeah, it's
you
real.
know
It's
something
real.
that you know something. Go on,
Yeah.
tell us, Malcolm. We want
So
to
and
know.
then so then beyond the boundaries are tools. You can actually implement certain mantras, right? Or prayers for protection, for your own personal protection, so that you can be in the world as an empath and not bombarded with everybody else's shit. Or
Message.
you can open and close your empath, in your world, in your field. You don't always have to be fully open as an empath.
Okay.
You can what I offer is in different states of you say spiritual work. Empath is an aspect of this work called mediumship, and as an empath, you can literally, the iris on a what do you call it? On a camera, right? How it
Mm-hmm.
opens and
Correct.
closes for light, right? So you can, if you're in a space with a lot of people, people you don't know, you suck in your light, suck in your energy, you can really dial down what you're receiving, right? Never want to fully close off because that's your connection with God for sure, and all your guides and archangels and spirit guides. But you can dial it down so you're not picking up so much stuff, right?
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, you get into some really big clearing systems, right? Protection is closing down or opening up. Clearing systems are, spiritual baths or you use mantras, right, that are really really powerful. There's a definite powerful mantra that I use all the time called the soul mantra, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it is specifically for that, to ground you into this planet, ground you into the astral, connect you to the astral, put you in a tube of golden light so that you are protected, and then clear out all the cords and all the shenanigans and then bring your aura in nice and tight, because as we are out in the world, our aura gets so expansive, not to mention drinking, right, or any other thing that we're doing which causes fissures in our aura, and this is why things get into us and impact us. So you pull your aura snug around you about 12 inches, keep you nice and safe, and then you can bubble up with different kinds of bubbles around your aura, and it'll be walking around in a spiritually protective, like orbital globe, and then you will feel a day and night difference. And what happens is when you find yourself utilizing these tools, then you can be more highly effective with your superpower. because you're not now you're not uh, overwhelmed by other frequencies that don't serve your frequency.
Right.
And you're not a grumpy ass healer because you're worn the fuck out.
Exactly.
That part.
And we've all seen the grumpy fucking healer, right? The one
Mhm.
who's just kind of a passive aggressive, kind of shitty, and but here to help, here to heal you. Huh, that ain't helpful.
No,
That's
he
not
said you need to
helpful.
heal yourself. How you healing
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
You got work to do.
No,
We both here
no,
doing the work.
yeah. I'm gonna trust you and pick up your shit.
Mm.
No, come on. So I would just offer that you just get into some studies. I'm more than happy to share some stuff with you and work and walk you through it as well. But it's really just it'll shift your reality of being an empath to being one empowered by the experience of being an empath.
Okay, and then I just want to say for maybe the people who are listening to the family who are like, wow, this is getting real hocus pocus for me.
a
What?
little,
Because
a little woo woo.
yeah, I always bring it back. You know me. So what is an empath? If the common person didn't know what that gift is, what that superpower is, how would you both describe being an empath?
Monica, ladies first.
For me, I'm sensitive to energies. Like I can pick up on people's moods or energies, like how they're feeling. And I think it's also because of my previous work in my jobs where
Mhm.
even though a lot of it was over the phone, I developed that ear where I can pick up how people are feeling. And
Mm,
like I would take it on, and after work I would have to, like, you already know this, Mila, I have to
Mm.
decompress. Like I have to
Mhm.
decompress. And now when it's like family or friends and they might think I'm being a little off, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I can't listen to that. I don't want to take that in. I don't want to listen to that music. I don't want to, watch that because
Mhm.
I know how my body's going to react to it.
Mhm.
mm.
Okay. I like that.
Yep. And
Okay. Well, that's empath. Okay, I love
yeah,
that.
I would offer that that is super accurate and well done and also good awareness for what you can and cannot endure.
Right.
And ultimately too, implementing more tools of your own protection will allow you to exist in spaces, but still, how about this? I used to love a ton of sports, and I used to love watching UFC and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started getting more into my spiritual progression, those things just didn't make sense to me anymore. And in fact,
Mm.
now watching some of that
Exactly.
shit right now, like I can literally feel it hurt my heart.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing to have these high sensitivities, right? It's just, I
Mhm.
mean, I don't need to watch two men beating each other senselessly in the ring with blood everywhere anymore.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Served its purpose. I'm
Mm-hmm.
complete.
You are complete. See, that's what people don't know. You know how to give a two piece on a biscuit too, though, Malcolm. But you're enlightened now. But but I
I,
saw the tape. Okay, that's
yeah,
all.
exactly, exactly. As I would offer blessings to that iteration of myself.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Is like it got me here. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, hey, I
And
said,
and the beautiful thing about that is, it's like I have compassion for people in that state right now.
right.
Like yeah, because I was like, oh shit, I get that. Fuck, I get it. Like there's another way, but I get you got to do that as long as you do it until
Hmm.
you don't.
Yeah. Hey.
So absolutely,
Until it doesn't feel right for your spirit, right? Until you can't take
absolutely,
it. Until
absolutely.
you say ouch. Okay, well then. Oh, I mean, you know what?
So wait,
Malcolm,
I have a
we hope
question,
to have you back. Yeah.
Mila. I
Yes.
have a question.
Yes.
So all right, so now do you understand what empath is?
Oh yeah. I mean, I knew what it was. I just wanted to make
No,
sure that the people knew.
because I want because
I mean,
no, I'm saying I'm asking this because I'm pointing out this is simple fact is that we're all empaths on
Mhm.
this recording currently.
Oh, of course. That's why I said
Yeah.
I'm drained. I just, you know what? I look at it when me being empathic, I definitely know is a spiritual gift. And I
Mm,
definitely know that it's a gift that I get from my family, from
mm-hmm,
how we were raised, to our faith, to
mm-hmm.
how we treat people, and the true compassion and the love that I have. So you know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I've learned to balance it a little bit. I will say that it was going to force me to make choices anyway, right? Because you want to give. But I've had to learn throughout my career, because people take it, a lot of people come and say, oh my gosh, you have so much fun doing what you're doing. I go, yeah, no, I love, what I was doing. But I would meet a lot of people, and I touch, right? So, Monica is hearing people and being empathic. I hear what they're saying, but I always am open, right? Some people don't like to touch people, and you have to be very careful of that, because you're taking energy. So that is more of the empath that I am. I mean, I will hug you if your spirit is downtrodden and I can see that. Oh, honey, I want to pour love into you. I want to encourage you with my mouth. Like, I want to speak life into you. But you give all that and then you're weak. And then there have been times when I know my coworkers or people don't understand, why is she tired? It's because I'm worn out, because you guys don't realize how toxic you are at times. But
Right.
I do, right? I'm over here with the secret liquid sage spraying my area before you guys get here. You don't know that. I've already said 15 prayers over here. So I understand why people are coming to me. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm called to do, is to help. And I will say, I always feel fulfilled when I do it. But if you don't ever have any time to just sit, like you said, be still, and being raised as an only child, I don't mind being by myself. So I already have it's kind of interesting, because I need that moment of just being to myself. And sometimes people don't understand that, because they're like, well, you just went to work. Yeah, but you don't know what I did at work. I talked to 10 people, 5 people who were getting divorced, some people who were abused, some people who didn't, they had childhood wounds, and you'd be surprised. I mean, I've had people be like, will you pray for me? Yes. I don't stop. Yes, we're here in the middle of this. I don't care. You need me to pray. You have a prayer. You want me to pray for your daughter and what's going on with her friends. People are committing suicide. Like, they come at you with so many things. So yeah, I definitely can appreciate it. I see it as a gift, and I know that. But that's kind of what I've learned as well, is to take the time that I need. It's part of my mental health awareness and care. It's part of me loving and honoring myself, is to kind of take a break, take a step back. So.
And I would offer, real quick, reframe is the reframe on helper. Is literally what we've come here to do, especially the 3 of us on this call. We are light workers, right?
Say it.
And we are here, and sometimes it gets a little heavy, and that's why you said you talked to 5 people, and why are you tired at work? Because I've been healing all day long, even though I'm selling a product. I'm like, it's not even the product that people come to me for. It's for my calm and my light and my love. And they lean in. I'm exhausted because I've been giving all day.
And I truly get joy from it, but it is exhausting.
And this is why what you touched on so eloquently is really, really valuable. Is your self-care. Up your self-care. Whatever that looks like for you. I'm one too. This must be in the family lineage, because I need my private time. Because I'm like, people are like, what are you doing over there? I'm just sitting, just being calm.
Are you being calm? Well,
not saying anything.
Well, Malcolm, I have a funny, funny sidebar. Like you said, it's in our lineage. Well, growing up, my mom was the queen of naps, and she has a story that she tells about when she was pregnant with me and you were visiting. She said Malcolm didn't want to take no nap. He didn't want to be, honey. Auntie G was telling you how to be in your space. Okay, get your zen. And for real, she's been one of the people who, always kind of thinking outside the box, yes, a woman of faith, but, but still, but that's it. So I've grown up with a great appreciation. I've taken that nap and taken that type of, because she sure did. She said, I would ask him to pick up stuff, and he said, why I got to pick it up? She said, because you're closer to the ground, which that probably wasn't really true, because Malcolm was tall even now.
She'd always say, so just for the record, Monica, Auntie G is one of my favorite people on the planet. And when I was little, she could do she was like a shiny angel. All I wanted to do was just like be by her or drive in her blue car.
That blue Monte Carlo, you know about it.
I just wanted to roll in the back. I was so happy with her, right? So what it was is I didn't want to sleep. when I was with Auntie too.
Right.
I was just sucking up all the time, right? But now I'm a nap king. I
Yeah.
believe in a nap, bro. It's self-care.
Yeah, amen. See, so yeah, I get
Yeah.
it from my mama literally, but
Yeah, literally.
I understand though. But that was just something funny because she always tells that story about and I will say that's the one thing about my mom. She loves her nieces and her nephews, whether she
Yeah,
talks to them
super.
every day or whether she talks to them once. I don't think people realize she's sending up prayers for you. She is concerned, but she knows how to dial back for what she has to do for herself. So, and that has come with time and age too, because that some people are not ready to meet you at the fact that no, I can't do that for you because I need to be investing in myself because I
Self-care.
want to be here. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, we had the sidebar on that one, but
Yeah.
I did want to ask
Beautiful.
you one more question before you got
Oh
out
yeah.
here. A little bit lighter. Monica and I, we definitely have the travel. Well, Monica more than me. I have the travel bug. I mean, I have I have my passport, but I want to go to certain countries. Boom. But
Mm.
I know that you are a globe trotter because you have been on your quest, and and also your different careers and things you've done. I don't know, have you been to every continent pretty much, or is there a continent that you haven't visited that you want to visit?
Um, I have not been. Well, I have been to every continent, but in different areas of my life, right?
Mm,
So, and so now, really, as of late, these last few years, it's been all about Southern America, like Brazil and all
mm-hmm,
that good stuff. I mean, I got a spiritual family there,
mm,
and and have intentions on getting to Kemet, aka Egypt, next
mm,
year. Because through my artwork, I'm really channeling a lot of that energy and realizing through my own personal study, like through the lineage, right? So
mm-hmm,
Cameroon, and then Cameroon came through all these people from Egypt,
mm,
Nubians, right?
mm.
So I'm really getting back to Egypt in my studies, but it's been really a lot of Southern America for me
Mm.
as of
Okay.
late. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's nice. So, what was the first country though that you visited where you felt like you had a spiritual awakening?
Spiritual awakening was Brazil.
Mm,
Okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it wasn't what's the popular beachy places, right? It's like
yeah.
it was literally in Acre
Follow.
where yeah. It was in Acre, Brazil, where a really profound man by the name of Mestre Ireneo Serra, right?
Mhm,
Who found this doctrine called the Santo Daime, and so I went to that little small town and super really beautiful people and learned about more of that spiritual lineage and just opened up in different ways. And I've thus been back, well, I don't know, maybe 5 times or so.
mhm. Well, it was interesting because we were on a Zoom call for Malcolm during the pandemic for his born day celebration. And what
Mm.
I found that was interesting about the Zoom was that there were people from all over the world who popped in to like say they love you, they miss you, when you're coming back to our country, your vibe is amazing, and I just was like, you better go out here, Malcolm, doing the work, okay, doing the work and living your best life. And I
Yeah,
really appreciate that. I appreciate that, you are where you need to be and you're doing what you need to be and you're helping many people. And to me,
yeah,
I don't know, that just makes me smile because that does feel like what our family should be doing. So
absolutely,
yeah, so
absolutely.
so on that note, Monique, is there anything else that I am forgetting today?
There's nothing else. I did want to mention to Malcolm, we did get you to implement some other type of self care, and I got my friend to do some qigong with me to help her
Hmm.
Nice,
calm
nice,
Yes.
her.
She sure
nice.
did. She sure did. I thought I was doing some old, like a couple of yoga moves, and Monica was
Uh-uh.
like, no, no.
No,
She
no,
was like,
no.
do that qigong, and then I was like, well, Tai Chi qigong, and then I did a little bit of extra research because Monica, I don't know, she realizes the Virgo in me. I do like to be right, so it was good though. But that qigong is amazing. It just that 15 minutes in the morning, just really centering myself, having
Good.
she does lime juice and ginger. I was doing lemon and ginger. It just boom. it's a great way to start the day and just be present. Like you said, I think that's a good time after I've done that to find the stillness. Just give myself a couple
Right.
of minutes because the day is going to be hard. And I like to give myself a hug. Like that's an old school
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah,
But I do like
yeah,
to give myself a hug these days and tell myself, like, give myself a pat on the back, like, you got this, girl. Like,
yeah,
no weapon. You can do this.
yeah.
Get it.
I mean,
And
I would
so,
I would like to offer that, in closing or whatever we're doing right now
mhm.
currently, but is that
Mouth is
is
crazy.
that I think really one of the biggest components of self care is really having a morning practice, whatever that looks like for you. Whether it's just give yourself time, such as you just stated so awesomely, is that just give yourself time in the morning to set your frequency and your pacing for the day so that you can be in your body and in your
Mhm.
calm as much as possible and be able to be present to deal with what's ahead of you.
Amen.
Instead of like jumping out of the bed and just running in the shower and barely enough time and getting in the car, and then that's
Right.
your frequency throughout the day,
It's
right?
rushed, yeah, rushed in
Get up and
and
have a
hurried.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, get up and have a practice. Have some liquids. Be calm as possible. One of the things that I offer with my clients as well is an extra 40 minutes of sleep is not going to be as helpful as less 40 minutes of a practice in the morning, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
So
okay.
if you sleep like 40 more minutes and you think, oh, that I just need 40 more minutes of sleep, the value is getting up when you're supposed to get up for your practice and having a 40-minute practice, because that carries into your day, right? So you get up in the morning, you have your liquids in the morning right away to get jumpstart your system. You get into some sort of prayer, meditation, whatever that looks like, qigong, yoga, stretching, movement for your body is great. And then write something. And if you can read something too, you're crushing it, right? And then your day is full of all this nutrients to fuel you. Your morning is filled with all these nutrients to fuel your day. You'll see you'll have more energy, more contributions, more spontaneity, more joy. And then also that's the thing too, is it's really about yourself and how you showed up for yourself. Yourself is grateful that you got up and did this practice to prep your day.
See, I love that. And you know what, Malcolm? That is something that Monica and I have been going over on the podcast
Mm,
for the last couple of months because we have seen the difference in our lives on that intentional, purposeful mornings, like you said, your morning ritual, your morning
Right.
routine. And so
mm,
we love that you affirm that, like out of the mouth of two or three, that's biblical. See, everyone has their base for the truth. And I go, yeah, that's Bible right there, and out
yeah.
of the mouth of two or three. So you heard it here. We haven't just been gassing you up, family. You heard the spiritual healer, okay? The spiritual guide tell you, boom, that's how you should start your day because it makes a difference, and it really, really, really does. So I love.
I
You
just
know what? I love the way you said this wrap up or whatever we're doing. Well, Malcolm, you just totally wrapped us up because
Yeah.
you told the people how to do it. You said start your day off right. So you know what, Malcolm? I just want you to reiterate. Where can the people find you?
so though I shut down my Facebook because I'm going to
Mhm,
relaunch it in a little
mhm.
bit. I'm creating a new website, but you can definitely track me down on Malcolm Ian Cross underscore art on Instagram. That's my main social media right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you're sliding in those DMs, you're sliding in for spiritual guidance and enlightenment. But he is here for that. Okay,
Right.
your issue isn't going to be so great that he's going to be overwhelmed or run. He is good at
No,
keeping
no.
confidences, and he has a lot of life. Like we just talking about the fun stuff here, but there are so many layers to this brother. You will be really blessed by it if you're on that journey. And I love that we had a man, an uncle, a cousin on here to kind of let the fellas that listen know, hey, 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 we got love for you too. We know you want to do the work. Are
Right.
you stagnant? Are you stuck? Do you have questions? Do you just want to bounce some ideas off someone? Boom, we just gave you a source. Okay, you're welcome. that's how that's
You
how we
just
bless you.
and I'm grateful to be an ally.
Look at that. We love it. Well then, well then, I guess that we're done for the night. Thank you, both of you. It's always a pleasure. So much love.
And love and
Absolutely.
gratitude. Thank
Yeah.
Love and gratitude. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Yeah,
Blessings,
bye.
blessings, and optimal health.
Hey, say it like you mean it, okay?
There it is. Cheers.
Monica, where can they find us again?
They can find us on Anchor, Spotify, and now iTunes. And please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. You can shoot us an email or a voice message if you'd like. And with all that, love and gratitude.
Remember to call your aunties or your girlfriends and say hi. Bye.